Jalen, I guess we haven't talked to you since your decision. And what kind of went into your decision to come back to Texas for another year?
Right. Oh, you said
What kind of went into your decision to come back?
kind of just wanted to leave on a good note. You know, just like I feel like, you know, when I got here, you know, I think everyone like when you go to a school, you dream of like, you know, just winning championships. You just kind of just Big 12 stuff like that. And I just felt like with this team, like what I've seen and how I've seen like how we've just become together. I just think there's so much that that we can tap into, and I think 1 year. I'm just really excited to see what we do this year.
So. Were you close to leaving? Was it a tough decision?
It was a tough decision, just because it's kind of that like what the heart wants and like like what you think is best for you. But I think I talked to a couple people, and it was just like for me it was just like a blessed, like a win-win situation. Like either one wouldn't have been a bad situation, so it was just like what the heart wanted, and for me it was just to come back and kind of just play with my brothers one more time.
Where were you projected to go in the draft?
Probably, and then just any after that. So wasn't too specific. And honestly, I think it's just I wasn't like really worried about where I would be. I kind of felt like I had put a lot of good things on tape, but back and kind of just add to that.
Jalen, was there anything when you were getting feedback about the draft process? Did you get a piece of information that either stood out as being good or something you needed to work on? What really helped?
I think when I kind of made the announcement I was coming back, a lot of people just told me it was a good decision. Like a lot of scouts, and that they're really Sark and Choate and those guys, and they're just like just kind of my role and like stepping up and taking charge and being a leader, stuff like that. Kind of filling shoes in. We had like rogue guys like that. So I think just all those things were kind of positive for me. And then I didn't really want to dwell on the negative. Kind of just look straight ahead, kind of thing.
So how is 2023 Jalen Ford going to be different from 2022 Jalen?
I think the first thing for me is just kind of getting outside my comfort zone and just being more vocal, especially with the team. And then just demanding the best out of everybody, defense, offense, all that. I think there's a lot of things that I've watched. Like I went back and watched all the games, and there was just things that if we just practice them now, when we get to the game, it won't be a problem, and maybe those outcomes will be different. So just things like that.
What's the room like without DeMarvion, and how does your role kind of change?
I think without Demo, there's just some guys, not only me, but there's some guys that got to step up. We had like we got Jet Bush, David Bender, those guys. They're right there with me. They've been here since I've been here, so they've been trying to take that leadership role too. It's not just one person trying to carry the load. And I think the young guys, they're coming in and they're just buying into the culture we set up and how they improve and just learn from us.
I know they obviously haven't been here for a long time, but your just initial impressions of the young linebackers who are here.
All of them, seeing how fast they run, how they can lift, all that, how they move around. They're all quick learners, and I think if they just, they constantly ask us questions and they're able to take in coaching. I think being coachable is probably the biggest trait to have, especially when you come in. So I'm really excited to see how those guys improve, and they're getting a jump start from the rest of them coming in early. So.
How does Anthony Hill impress you?
Anthony's good. He just flies around to the ball. Like today our big thing was just effort, and so we know you're gonna make mistakes, but as long as you run to the ball, you can't coach effort, but you can coach mistakes. So that was the big thing, and he definitely showed that today. Same with the other guys. Leona was out there. He's a fast learner. So just all those guys being able to see them, just kind of is like it kind of like reminisce. Like I remember when I was in that position, and just for them like it's kind of like I'm realizing like they kind of look up to me or like they want to take notes from me or whatever. So it's just like it's pretty cool.
Jalen, as much improvement as you guys made as a defense last year over 2021, what's the next step for this defense? Where can this thing go?
The next step, I think there's a lot of next steps, but I think just I would say just watching like how close we were to those games, just knowing if we could just be like a tad more detailed in everything we did, then I don't know like if y'all noticed, but it was like it was very small margin for error for us last year on defense. And so just kind of just cleaning up those mistakes and not giving the offense, freebies, whether that's deep balls or like, big plays or touchdowns, stuff like that, cleaning that up. And then I think just continue building on what we had last year, which was running to the ball, playing with effort, getting the ball out, making turnovers. Just building on that. We got a lot of guys coming back, and I'm just really excited.
When you talk about the mistakes part of it, is it more like technique type stuff or being in tune with the scheme?
I think definitely being in tune with the scheme. Offenses, they get really creative, and I think for us, we just got to, I would just say we just got to be more detailed and just communicate more. I think that's probably the big thing for us. Just being able to communicate on both, from the back end to the D-line, and just being one unit.
Jalen, who's a guy who has impressed you with his effort so far this spring or winter?
So far, David Bender. David really stands out. He's been grinding since winter started. He definitely stands out. Today at practice, Ant stood out as far as effort, running to the ball. You see the guys. The young DBs, the DBs probably have it the hardest because they're running around the field and practice isn't easy for us. So I give them credit, all of them, just being able to, they get in and they get a deep ball and they come right back and they got to run to the ball and play whatever route is next. So just conditioning, and honestly, our standard is just giving maximum effort. So I think everybody did that today.
Jalen, tomorrow's pro signing day.
Right.
Snacks. Had a good combine and going to work out, getting ready to be a dad. What are your conversations?
Yeah.
Could you imagine Snacks as a dad?
Could I, that's funny because I was talking to him yesterday and he's like, I was trying to get on the game. He's like, man, I'm a dad now. He's like, so, but it's just, I think just being able to see him grow up and just, he's got to get into that role now. And honestly, I'm just proud of him, just the the maturity he's gotten and just he's ready to take that next step and so yeah.
Was it Matt? Were y'all getting ready to play?
Yeah, Matt.
So he can't play as much as he did.
No, he can't. He'll play with deep. They just got back from the combine, so they was playing with him. But I kind of had class, and so I tried to. It was around like 3 or so, but I guess he had something to do. So.
Jalen, you mentioned Bro being gone as a leader. How do you feel that, and where do you notice his absence the most?
I would say his absence is felt because our thing is, we want team or we want to be player led. That's kind of our thing. Because the coaches can lead only so much. The next step has to be the players. Like we gotta, leadership isn't like it's about what you tolerate. And so I think Rowe was good at not tolerating, nonsense or stuff like that. Like he would address it, and he would get the guys that he felt were kind of the leaders of the team, and we'd get up, we meet up, and discuss this and that. He'd take notes, and then he'd bring it to the rest of the guys. So I think that's something that we need to rebuild and kind of, with the guys we have now that would be our leaders for next year. And so honestly, that's the one thing. And then I would just say his willingness to do whatever he needed to do to help us win. I don't know if you noticed, but he played special teams like he was a core special teams guy. Not only that, but he also carried the rock too. He didn't really, he didn't really care about the shine. Even though Bijan was the guy, he was like in the locker room and between these walls we knew like that was our leader. So I think just his voice carried and it's something that we got to rebuild. So
who do you think that guy could be? Is there someone that can be that alpha? Because y'all said Roschon more than anyone else.
I think I could be that one for sure. Like I said, I just gotta my natural ability isn't much of like an outspoken guy. So just as myself, I just gotta develop that and keep working on it. We got guys like I think Jade is stepping up, Devondre Sweat, Jordan Whittington. I think there's honestly I think Jaron Bug, his natural personality is he's a talker. So I think him. On the defensive side and then offense, Whittington, JT, Quinn is improving too. He's kind of more of a laid back guy too as well. So I think him just developing that. And I think honestly for us, I think the stronger we are, like if we all come together, then the new guys they'll just listen, and they'll know what the standard is around here.
Jalen, obviously you saw Bijan and Roshan a lot in practice last year. Talk about the running backs who replaced them going against those guys so far.
So
Give your early impressions.
I mean, we've been doing one-on-ones lately. I think Blue has been killing one-on-ones. I would say Cez looking good out there running the rock. Kai Woods, all of them. They as far as running the ball and working with them, I think. And then I'd say they don't. Obviously, they're not as as developed as Bijan and Rowe were, but I think you can definitely see the improvement and the steps they're taking, and the mentorship of Coach Choice is definitely is rubbing off on them. So.
When you say Jaden's been killing him one-on-one.
Oh, just like he's real quick with his moves, and he's just really fluid. So he's kind of a tough guy to cover.
What do you think Bijan's legacy is?
You said, what is his legacy?
I think I'd say his biggest thing was just there wasn't a time where you wouldn't see him smiling. I think that was the biggest thing. Just his personality, not on the field, but mostly off. I think the way he carried himself off the field, really humble. Always deflecting the praise. Like he would, he honored his religion a lot. Just all those guys. He just like everything he did on the field, it kind of just translated to off the field. And so just being overall a good guy. You wouldn't even know that he's this one of these. Honestly, you could say a Texas legend now, but you wouldn't even know if you just had a regular conversation with him. So. Just a real down-to-earth guy.
I know replacing DeMarvion's a really tough thing, but do you think that the guys that are there, whether it be David or Leonga or any of them Jet, are going to be able to get there and maybe not do the exact same things, but be someone who can play that position strongly? Yeah,
I think, Demo obviously had his, he had them intangibles that there's some people don't have, or just that's what made him, right? So I would say in our room, though, I think Coach Choate has done a good job of just developing not only just certain guys, but all of us in the room. And so I don't really think there's much of a drop-off as far as the older guys knowing what to do, how do we play with each other. We've done a good job of just rotating so we all get the feel of just playing with each other. So I really feel confident in all of our linebackers. I don't really see, maybe there might be those extra effort things that Demo did, but I think as far as the linebackers, I think we'll be good taken care of.
Have you gotten any reps at the other linebacker spot, or are you just exclusively at linebacker?
For the most part, I kind of just stay true to my position. But there's definitely things where I'll get to move around and stuff like that. Just try to add to my abilities.
Going back to Bob's question about finding an alpha in the locker room, how do you practice being an alpha? How are you going to improve that part of your game?
I think one is confidence for sure. Just understanding that once you have the respect of the locker room, I think that's the biggest thing. Once you have the respect, then what you say to the players or what you would say is the standard. I think that it carries, and then having guys to back you up as well. And then I'd say just not being afraid to be the bad guy. And what I mean by that is just not everybody. You can't really be friends and be a leader at the same time. It's you gotta tell them the things that they don't want to hear, like holding people accountable, stuff like that. So I wouldn't say there's as much practicing. I would just say is kind of just getting into that role of you got to be the leader. I guess you got to demand it, and the only way you can demand it is if you kind of took to start. The only way you demand is if you do it yourself first, and then then you have it by example, and then once you demand it, they see that you're doing it, then they'll follow. So I think it's just a big character thing, confidence. All those kind of traits.
Last one over here for Jalen.
Jalen, I know you talked about guys filling in roles, but who on this team is the next Jalen Ford, the guy who just comes out of nowhere and at the end of the season ends up being the guy that everyone's talking about?
I would say honestly, it's kind of hard to pinpoint who that'd be because kind of like you said, he came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So I think
if you had to bet your NIL check on something,
I don't know who to. To come out of nowhere, I don't know if I would say to come out of nowhere, but based off of who I've seen that's just been working really hard, I think I'd have to give it to. I mean, there's quite a. Do I have to pick one, or can I?
You go down the list.
Okay.
You're easy.
Yeah. I'd say. Oh man. Based off who I seen putting in work, one guy that I just seen like who's I don't think people talk about is Byron Murphy. He's incredible. Like the stuff I've seen him do in this winter was just like his size for his size to be that fast and strong. I definitely thought that stood out for me, and I can't wait to see how that translates. I think Barron Sorrell, he's a really hard worker. I think Jahdae Barron is improving, even though he had a good year. But I think David's gonna have a good year. Benda, I think he's really worked hard, so I'm really happy for him to get his chance finally. You know, he was behind Demo a lot, so you know he finally getting his chance to go out there and shine. So.
How are these young running backs looking so far? There's some big shoes they need to fill in.
Our running backs are extremely talented. They learn the playbook really fast, and you know they're hitting the ground running, and they're looking real good out there, all of them.
You said it, Baxter. I haven't seen him. What have you seen from him, CJ?
He's very natural. He's a natural runner, very fast. Kind of a one-cut back from what I've seen, and he has a whole lot of ability and a whole lot more potential.
Christian, y'all referenced Roschon repeatedly as kind of the alpha of the locker room. How do you replace that, and who do you think can do that?
You replace that by first being early, doing everything that you're supposed to do all of the time, and being intentional and not having intent. The difference between being intentional and having intent is like knowing that I have to study for a test or something, or knowing that I have to do something, and being intentional is the plans that you put forward to actually like doing good in that. So like for here, like being intentional, waking up early, if you're hurting, go to a training room, being a playbook, you know, and lead by example, and then from then you could lead vocally, and people know that you have merit. And the way that we replace that is just like what we've been doing in the winter. You know, a lot of guys have been stepping up. Barron, Mo, Benda, Hayden, Jake, JT, me, X, Quinn, like a bunch, like to name a few. A lot of guys have been stepping up, and a lot of guys have been intentional this winter, and that's how you like win the locker room and show the young guys before you tell the young guys how and what to do.
Sorry, Chris. What went into your thought process just after the bowl game, deciding whether to come back, what was the next, kind of what were those couple of weeks like for you?
I would say it was a lot of thinking and a lot of seeking guidance from a lot of people that I hold near and dear to my heart, and I came back for the reason that I believe that I have a whole another like level that I could tap into, and I have 100% confidence in Coach Flood and Coach Sark and everything that they like poured into me, and I just like really believe that I could be a whole lot better, and why go somewhere else, or why like try and risk it, not risk it, but like force it, you know what I mean? And instead of like coming down, tying the screws up, and then like just taking off on a rocket ship, you know? So
who really helped you? Like, was there somebody you talked to, a piece of advice where it really sunk in? What's your decision?
I would say my dad for sure. You know, he's my hero, he's my inspiration, and he has done a lot in his life, from basically having nothing to putting himself and our family in a great situation now. And that's just with all hard work and sacrifice. And he told me, like, yeah, like, you could go right now, but, I mean, why? Why would you? And you know that you could come back, and you know that you kind of started a little bit later than all your peers. So take this year as a catch-up year, and put everything into it. And, you know, he was the one who was telling me about having intent and being intentional, you know? And he just kind of opened my mind up to that. And talking to Coach Flood, too, you know, like, just believing in him, and knowing that like he wanted to steer me in the wrong direction. So
with,
Christian.
with DJ, obviously having Phil on the record.
Campbell?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you seeing, from him in year 2? And can you talk a little bit about his progression?
DJ Campbell, he's doing great. He's doing real great. He wants to get better, and he's intentional about that, and he is putting in the right measures. And I feel like we could say that for the whole line room. A lot of new guys, a lot of second-year guys that are really excelling and improving, like Neto, Cam, all the young guys, Chapman, Stroh, PK, everyone, just to name a few, and it's kind of the mindset that we have now of like trying to get better every single day and knowing that we have to be the best unit on the team to like have the success that we want to have.
I know you always used to being kind of the big guy, but when you see guys like Kirkland, when you see guys like Cam, you kind of feel like, dang.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm like kind of lightweight in there now. There's a lot of big humans for real, and it's good to see, man. And with the workout program and whatnot, they're definitely like their bodies are changing already, and I can't imagine what's gonna look like 6 months, a year, 2 years. It's a good time, to have that under your belt, spring ball. So.
How much of an asset do you think is having the entire line back and all the starters coming back?
I think it's an extremely big asset, and I really think that we don't even think about it like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're all back, but like we're just here to work, and there's a lot of people that are trying to play. You know what I mean? So you have to be on top of your game, and having that competition is very healthy. It's very good in the room. And yeah, but it's nice. Like we have a little bit of synergy. You know what I mean? Like we kind of know where everyone's gonna be at. We can kind of anticipate stuff, and communication is what we're really working on this spring to make sure that we all have like one mindset, one set of eyes.
With inexperience in the backfield, a lot might be put on Quinn this year to throw more, and it's good to have that experience. Offensive line. How ready do you think he is to take that next step?
Quinn? I think he's extremely ready, man. I think he's a different mindset, different type of guy, and you can kind of see that by the way he moves, carries his business. Not saying that he wasn't like last year, but like even more now. I don't know. It's really good to see. It's really good to see. So yes, sir.
Yeah, there may have been some younger guys behind you who may have been ready to see you get out of here, so
Oh,
they
yeah,
could
100%.
take your spot. I mean, what are you telling those guys? Are you encouraging, or are you telling them to, hey, come get it? And what are you telling those guys?
Oh, it's straight encouragement. It's nothing but love. I mean, like, the best guys will play. And I know that having that, is very beneficial for me and everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have competition. You want to have, like, that feeling of someone, like, on your heels, And you want to, that will, like, push you forward. That will push you a little bit harder every single day to like, kind of secure a spot or win a spot, And it's nothing but love. It's never like it's no type of bad blood or anything. But yeah, it's definitely nice. Like the whole line, very extremely talented. Everyone from super duper senior to like freshman who just came on campus. So yeah.
Christian, really small sample size, but can you give us some early impressions of Arch?
Football IQ, a whole lot of football IQ. He got a good arm on him, and very personable guy. And I'm excited to see him. So just watch him at practice every single day.
How sad is it going to be not having Bijan back here?
Oh man, yeah. We got a little taste of it, at the end of the season last year, and it's not sad at all, honestly. It's like more encouraging, knowing that we have like NFL talent in the locker room, and knowing that we have a potential top 10 pick, like it's it makes everyone work harder, like like knowing that these are the caliber guys that are like coming through here and that we practice with them every single day. So it's kind of like a carrot in front of like a racehorse, you know what I mean? Like you see it, like okay, this is what he did every single day. This is how he prepared himself every single day. This is how he prepared himself for the games, and this is the result. So we can copy that, we can emulate it, and it's exciting.
So it doesn't surprise you he's blowing up like he is.
Oh nah, man, he's a superstar, man. He's a superstar.
Whether it be from Coach Flood, from NFL people you talk to, or from just assessing your own game, what's one place you really want to work on this upcoming season that you feel needs to be worked on for your own game?
For my own game, I would say flexibility. I would say footwork, and I would say hand placement. Those are 3 things that I'm really focusing on. And, there's a whole lot of stuff I got to work on, but, those 3 off the top of my head: flexibility, hand placement, footwork.
You played across from Snacks forever. Yeah. New dad coming up. What are your conversations with him? He's doing grown-up stuff now.
Yeah. I mean, I've been conversing with all those guys from 18, and I was very happy. I was very proud, watching them at the combine and knowing all of the stuff that we went through, with the coaching change and COVID and all that type of stuff that we all been through. And now they're really living their dream, and super encouraging. They said that they had a blast. They're living the dream right now, and I don't know, it's really a proud. I want to say proud dad, proud uncle moment, and seeing them these past couple of days in and out the facility, I just can't tell them how happy I am for them. And yeah, it's definitely bittersweet for me. I'm the only one kind of left, but I have a lot of great guys in the locker room and a lot of new friends and whatnot. And they're I'm all right.
Jalen said that Snacks had to cancel out on a Madden game because he was on daddy duty.
Yeah, exactly, man. Everyone's growing up. Everyone's progressing, and that's nothing but blessings, man. You can't really ask for anything more, He's extremely happy, and not only him, Demo, Moro, yeah, Ro, B, everyone. Shark 5, Cook, don't forget about them. They're growing up, man. It's crazy just seeing it, and sometimes I look in the locker room and it's yeah, Keandre used to sit there. Moro's around the corner or something like that. But I'm very, very happy for him.
You lost a lot of talent.
But we gained a lot of talent. I promise, man.
Yeah.
We got a lot of talented young guys and who are hungry, and have that belief, like I was talking about earlier, that they could come in and they can make immediate change and they could bring something to the team, and that's very important.
Why are you so confident you'll be better than 8-5 next year?
I would say the confidence is how we worked in winter. First off, kind of that first team meeting setting the tone of like how things are going to change. I won't go into detail about that, but knowing that this is how we're going to do things, and knowing that like the last year's things is not acceptable, it set us off like, you know, on the right foot. And Coach Becton and the whole strength staff, what they did this whole winter, what we did, absolutely crazy, man. A lot of people moving a lot of weight, running real fast, jumping real high, like, so just improving, you know. And it's phase 1 was good. Phase 2 right now, this is day 2 of phase 2. Like, we're doing real good, and we just got to continue it, man. So I would say it starts with being intentional and having the belief in yourself.
Christian,
2 last ones for Christian.
Back to Bijan real quickly. Was at the Ted Lasso premiere last night. Not sure if you saw that.
Yeah, I was.
Who do you think is more positive, Bijan or Coach Lasso?
You know what? I think that they are very, very, very similar. It's crazy, man. And yeah, I got to give it to Bijan because I know Bijan. But Ted Lasso is extremely positive and super funny, super funny.
When you see some of those combine clips, like Morrow on the bench press and stuff like that, like you're like, I didn't know he had that in them, or was that a surprise how those guys kind of performed at the combine?
I want to say it was a surprise because like I've seen it, you know what I mean, and you kind of once you set on a goal, like, and you like really hone in on it, and knowing that they all did that, like, the sky's the limit. So I'm very glad that he was able to, and everyone else was able to like show out and show their skills and whatnot. And at 29, I was like, okay, you know. And that was like I said, like super proud, man. And it was like inspiring for me, you know, like, and for a lot of people in the locker room, knowing that we practice and we work out with these guys every single day, and we saw what they did, and we just like know that we're what we are capable of doing. So yeah, but big shout out to them. They worked their butts off, and this is hopefully the start for a very, very successful, long career. And y'all all deserve it, man. We're all supportive. We're all very happy, and you couldn't make this university, this state, and everyone else more proud, man. So, yeah, thank you, and keep working.
Thank you, Christian.
Appreciate it,
One more
Christian.
real quick, Joe.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you talk about Snacks and Morrow being gone, what have you seen this winter through these first 2 practices from like T-Sweat and Byron and Alfred to make you feel like those guys are ready to, not just from a production standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint, ready to take that next step?
Being intentional about how they carry themselves every single day, the work that they put in every single day, and, just the leadership side of it, and, yeah, that's about it. That's it.